just get off my Xbox. But anyway, before we get into the video, I just want to quickly remind you before I forget myself that I want to do a video on anything that you guys don't know about Dirty Eyes and Drache, any Easter eggs or mysteries that haven't been solved, just anything in general that you want to know about Dirty Eyes and Drache. I want to make one big video featuring you guys. Like always, any comments that I pick from you guys, I will feature in the video, so that's a good way to promote you guys a little bit as well. But yeah, I just thought that'd be one awesome video to end off Dirty Eyes and Drache before we move on to ZETSUBOU no Shima. So get your questions, get anything you want to know in the comments. Let's get into it. Enjoy. So today for you, I have the top 5 things that we want or things that we are having in ZETSUBOU no Shima. We already know quite a bit about this map through official information, through leaks. There's also a lot that we don't know, so this is combining the two. This is the things I want to see in ZETSUBOU no Shima, but it's also going to include the top 5 things we are going to be having in this map. Hopefully this is going to give you a ton of information about it. It should be like a general video, a general overview of this map, because so far it is looking amazing. And honestly, if this lives up to what TAKEOS is saying this is, which is the scariest and, well, hopefully the most full action-packed zombies map yet, then, well, I really cannot wait. So here we go. Coming in at number 5, we have new innovative creatures, so zombie types, but we also know we are having other things as well. So we have the giant spiders. If we go over to this leaked image, which is now official from TAKEOS, we can see we have on the left these yellow glowing balls. These are supposedly spider eggs. If you compare the two, they do look quite similar, but also if you take a look around this image, you can see there are cobwebs scattered around this place. There also seems to be some kind of trap at the back there, which looks like it is for insects. Maybe that's where Division 9 got the spiders from in the first place, so that's how they trap them. We don't know really, that could be anything. But yeah, giant spiders was also in the coding before any of this was officially announced. If we go over to Samantha's drawing in Dirty Eyes and Drache, you can see it is Samantha walking through a forest. This forest looks very similar to the tropical forest we are going to be getting in ZETSUBOU no Shima, which brings up the question, has Samantha actually been here before? We don't know. But you can see coming out of the ground that looks very similar to a spider. The legs, how we have the body in the middle. It is a shit drawing by Samantha. Guess we know which subject she did not take. But yeah, we can see a spider coming at Samantha. So yeah, giant spiders in this map. That's definitely one way to make a scary map. If you have arachnophobia, then just run guys. Run for the sky, run for the freaking hills. Do not play this map. I got your backs. In the official description, they also mentioned Division 9 doing experiments on plants. Now, I made a video yesterday. If you want to check it out, I will leave it down in the description. But I mentioned how Division 9 could have been using Element 115 on plants. And as we know, Element 115 does crazy shit to absolutely everything. There's a possibility 115 could mutate plants and turn them into these giant man-eating plants that become enemies to us, that we have to fight. Think of a giant Venus flytrap that we find in the tropical forests of Pompeii. It definitely fits the setting very, very well. And also, when you think of a Venus flytrap, they typically eat creatures, insects, and what are we having in this map? Spiders. Imagine giant Venus flytraps eating giant spiders. Those two for me fit very well. So could we be having these giant plants that attack us as enemies? Maybe they're used as traps towards the spiders. Maybe they aren't even coming at all, but the official description does say they have been experimenting on plants, and as we know, 115 does a lot of crazy shit, and plants would be an awesome and new thing that we haven't actually seen in zombies before. They then also mention humans. Now, they could mean a few different things with this. One, humans, zombies. We know the humans turned into zombies using 115, so that's what they could mean. Humans means that we are going to be getting zombies in this map. That could also mean that Division 9 have been doing experiments on humans in their research facility. This takes me all the way back to the Rukt, where we found this dentist chair. If you press the interactive button on it, you will hear people screaming. It is possible in the Island of Despair. Division 9 have been doing some cruel, violent experiments on patients. I believe it was through Groff's radio in Dirty Eyes and Drache. Groff mentions that Division 9, or it may even have been TAKEOS who said it, I can't quite remember now, but we know Division 9 have been doing experiments on humans, or I should say been using experimental weaponry on humans as guinea pigs. So for example, we think they could have possibly built the ray gun Mark III, which we may be seeing in our next zombies map, ZETSUBOU no Shima. They could have been possibly using wonder weapons, experimental weapons containing element 115 on humans as guinea pigs. If we could see the same features in ZETSUBOU no Shima that we saw in Verrucht, for example, going up to just a random chair, pressing the interactive button and hearing screaming and humans crying out. That definitely makes for an awesome, okay, maybe not awesome, that's a bit sick, but definitely a scary map. It takes us all the way back to World at War when we had all of that gore, which recently seems to have been kind of taken out of zombies. But don't worry, because I definitely think it's coming back. Apart from that, I would also like to see many other zombie types. Could the Hellhounds be returning? Could the Space Monkeys be returning? Maybe we could have some other variant of the Nova Crawlers. We've had the gas versions in Kino der Toten, but we also had the Jumping Jacks in Die Rise. Could we see another variant of them? Another mutated version of them in ZETSUBOU no Shima? I mean, this is a tropical island, so any tropical animals, but as we know, new enemy types are definitely coming to this map, and it sounds awesome. Anyway, that's enough for that one. Let's get into number 4, and that is World War II style weapons, or weapons that actually fit the era. Now before, and this has only recently just been confirmed, but ZETSUBOU no Shima will be taking place during the World War II era. I believe this was only revealed today when I am making this video on the 4th of April, but yes, ZETSUBOU no Shima will be taking place during the World War II era, which is the same era that we saw Der Eisendrache take place. Now, if you actually watched the live stream about this new zombies map, Jason Blundell said that when traveling through the teleporter, it is also possible for our characters to travel forward or back in time. Since we don't know how exactly our characters got from Der Eisendrache to ZETSUBOU no Shima, since we don't know if they teleported, if they did, it is possible they went through time, we cannot, or we could have before, be 100% sure, damn that rhyme, if our zombies map was taking place in World War II just like Der Eisendrache. But since now it has been confirmed it will be in World War II, we can guess it's around the 1940s, the same time as around or just after Der Eisendrache took place. This also brings up the question as to how the characters actually get to the Pompeian island, since it's very possible that they didn't teleport. In the cutscene, we can see them taking a boat, so it's obvious they didn't teleport directly to the island. So how they actually got there before getting on the boat, we don't know, because Austria and Pompeii are a very long way away. Could they have used some type of method that they found in Der Eisendrache? Maybe it was just one of the vehicles that was lying around that they used to get to the docks, and they used the ship that we can see in the cutscene to actually get to Pompeii. As we know, everything in that cutscene goes wrong. The ship overturns, our characters get thrown overboard, and they have to end up swimming to the island itself. But I've just gone totally off topic there. I want to talk about World War II style weapons, so just old weapons returning. In Der Eisendrache, we never got any of that. We had this teaser image of Dempsey holding a variant of the MP40, or I actually can't remember the exact name for the weapon, but we got this in multiplayer, but never for zombies. Even though for Der Eisendrache it was teased, it was never there. This kind of weapon fits this era perfectly, and it's the perfect type of weapon I love to see back. Mob of the Dead was a great example of them bringing the Tommy gun back into that map. It fits the theme absolutely perfectly. So hopefully we can see some World War II style weapons. Hopefully the MP40 can come back, or some other iconic weapon, maybe a Japanese weapon, since this is a Japanese island. We do have a couple of names already. One of them is the Skull of Namsapwa, which is supposed to be the wonder weapon. Namsapwa is actually a god on the island of Pompeii. In Pompeian mythology, he was a thunder god, so that could possibly be in the Skull of Namsapwa. Whatever weapon that is, maybe it's a special weapon, a wonder weapon, but he will have the ability of thunder. Hopefully the thunder gun, please bring back the thunder gun, bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. So yeah, that's one of the weapons, but it was also leaked that TAKEOS katana could possibly also be a special weapon as well, or a new melee weapon. In the cutscene, we can see one of these guards point a katana towards Takeo. Now, we're not 100% sure if that is Takeos himself, although in his letter that we can find in Der Eisendrache, Takeo says that his weapons have been taken off him, so it's very possible that that in fact is Takeo's katana in the first place. However, later on in the cutscene, we see Takeo take it off him and start slashing people up with it. It was in the leaked coding as well, so if we could see Takeo's katana come in as a weapon, that is something we've all wanted for a very long time. Even when Origins was out, the last map for Black Ops 2, we saw Takeo use this katana. It looks awesome. Hopefully we can be using that as well. So yeah, that's number 4, bringing back old weapons, even some new cool ones that we haven't seen before, but definitely the World War II era ones would be perfect for me. I don't know about you guys, you can let me know in the comments. Anyway, let's get into number 3. So number 3 is finding out more information about what Takeo knows. He's told us many of his thoughts so far in The Giant, he says, "I had a dream of a man in shadow." He also then goes on to mention the two children. He says, "I know about these kids that are in this house." These kids, as we know, are Samantha and Eddie. We believe that they are lost in another universe somewhere, and Maxis doesn't know where he is. We know that as part of our ultimate goal, which is to find these two children and make sure they are safe. But it would be awesome in ZETSUBOU no Shima to get more storyline on them, because in Shadows of Evil, in Der Eis der Drache, we never really heard anything about them. It was only a couple of quotes in The Giant. So hopefully ZETSUBOU no Shima will give us some more background and storyline on that, on where these kids actually are, on why we need to find them, on how they got lost in the first place, and what their actual relevance is to our zombie storyline. We're not really too sure what part they have to play. Obviously, we know Samantha is Max's daughter, but no one is 100% sure who Eddie really is. We know for certain that Eddie is Maxis' friend. Those two kids were introduced by Maxis, but that's all we really know. What relevance Eddie really has, how important he actually is, or why these kids are actually important, again, that is still a mystery. So hopefully in ZETSUBOU no Shima we can explore more along that story. And I'd also like to learn more about Takeo's visions. These visions he has been having about a man in shadow, about what is supposedly the Shadow Man, these dark thoughts he has been having, and hopefully Richtofen can finally bloody tell us the message he is keeping from Takeo. He is keeping a big secret from all of us, but especially Takeo. He says to Takeo many times that he has this message for him from the Emperor, but now is not the right time to tell him. Hopefully, we will get to find out what that is at ZETSUBOU no Shima. We know this map is already going to contain the horror factor, so I'm not going to include that. If you are enjoying the video so far, if you could drop me a like rating. It's taken an awfully long time right now, and I'm not even finished, so a like rating would be appreciated. But anyway, coming in at number 2. Now, I don't know if this is too early for Treyarch to reveal this, but I hope they can actually give us some more information on it. Who the hell is controlling the zombies? Now, we all first thought that it was Samantha, since, well, the obvious clue is the zombies have yellow eyes. That usually means Samantha is controlling them. Blue would mean it was Richtofen. But since we know in The Giant, just after Maxis and Samantha were teleported, Richtofen killed himself. In the original storyline, Maxis and Samantha were teleported, but Maxis was teleported to a temple, or a tomb. Richtofen then told Dr. Groff to take Dr. Maxis over to Samantha, who was based on the moon, to tell her to come out of the MPD pyramid. At that point in time, Dr. Maxis said okay. He was then taken to the moon by Dr. Groff, but instead of telling Samantha to calmly come out of the MPD, he instead told her to wreak havoc and kill every member of Group 935, and that is where Samantha really took control of the zombies and the actual fight begun. But since in The Giant, even though Maxis and Samantha get teleported, Richtofen kills himself straight after, and none of that happens. Dr. Maxis was never taken to Samantha on the moon. Dr. Maxis never told Samantha to wreak havoc, but it is still possible that Samantha got inside of the MPD, or at least that's what we thought until Der Eis der Drache, where the MPD gets teleported down to the Undercroft by one of the keepers. The MPD opens up and we can see Samantha isn't there. In fact, what is inside is the infected keeper. Samantha is nowhere to be seen. And to back that up even more, Dr. Richtofen says in Der Eis der Drache something like, "I believe that little girl is in control," or he says something like, "Samantha, is that you?" meaning, are you controlling these zombies? Are you doing this? But then he contradicts himself and says, maybe not, I don't know. Showing not even Richtofen actually knows who is in control now. The zombies still have yellow eyes, the zombies still exist, but Samantha is not in the MPD like she was in the original story. We don't know if there are multiple MPDs, we don't know if Samantha is controlling them from somewhere else, we don't even know where Samantha actually is. She is lost. The moon in Der Eis der Drache got blown up, so there's no chance that Samantha could even be on the moon. In fact, thinking about it now, we do have that loading screen that we got from Treyarch, this one up on screen now, and if you take this image of Samantha standing here and you place this on the Shangri-La loading screen, this fits in exactly. Again, I've done a full video on this, but this could be showing that Samantha is in fact in Shangri-La. What she's doing there, we don't know. But remember I said earlier that Dr. Maxis also got teleported to a temple, or a tomb. There are loads of temples and tombs in Shangri-La, so is it possible that Dr. Maxis is there? If so, these two characters are very close to each other. That's one theory, but then again, we also think that Samantha and Eddie are in a house all alone in another universe. There are so many theories surrounding that, we honestly don't know. So if Treyarch could give us some more information on these two kids, on their whole storyline, hopefully that would clear things up a lot more. Coming in at number 1 is an awesome Easter egg. This is something I think everyone wants. First off, a solo Easter egg is definitely needed. In Der Eise Drache, that's exactly what we've got. If you want to complete it solo, fine, it's a little bit different. But hopefully that's what we can do in ZETSUBOU no Shima, and we don't just need 4 players. Not only that, but in Der Eise Drache, I find the Easter egg to be quite tedious. No, I'm not saying it should be easy. In fact, I think it should be quite difficult. The difficulty level of Der Eise Drache, when you master it, is actually pretty easy. But it's just some of the steps can be so long, dragging, and actually not really too fun to do. If we go back to Easter eggs like Mob of the Dead, but Mob of the Dead is a great example of a really fun Easter egg. I do want a long, hard, but also an interesting Easter egg that doesn't drag out like the one did in Der Eise Drache. It really wasn't the most fun to do. Did find out new information, but I felt some of the steps were just so tedious and just took too much time. So if they could bring in an awesome Easter egg to top off this map, I guess it is going to end up with us killing Takeo. Before, what happens before that, we don't know. Hopefully it will include Cthulhu, since we know Cthulhu is imprisoned in the city of Rilya. Rilya is based just a few miles off the island of Pompeii. Could the Easter egg involve us awakening Cthulhu, or somehow he gets awoken, he escapes his cell in the lost city of Cthulhu and rises up, and somehow we have to defeat him? Imagine that. I think it would be awesome. This has been a long video. I'm going to end it there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said at the start of the video, I'm going to remind you again, I want to make a full video, just a really good one on just answering your questions, any mysteries you have about Der Eise Drache Easter eggs, anything you want to know, put them in the comment section, and of course I will feature you. So there we go. Thank you for watching, guys. Drop a like rating if you have enjoyed. This map will be coming out on April the 19th for the PlayStation 4, so just a couple of weeks from now. Make sure you are ready. Stay tuned on this channel, hit that subscribe button, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Pull your pants up, because that was a jizzable video. This is weird. I don't really want to. Okay, goodbye. Seriously, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.